What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here. So I'm going to come at you with another video. It's not the normal video I make. I feel like I'm going to try to do something a little bit different. I feel like I see a lot of people give games criticism, and a lot of criticism people do give is very fair. But I do feel like we get too much unpositive criticism and not enough positive criticism. And what I mean by that is we have a lot of people that will just state stuff like the game's trash, it was boring. But when you ask them why it was boring, why they didn't think it, why they think it was trash, a lot of them don't really have any kind of excuse of why they think that. They just say that blatantly without any kind of, knowledge of the game to bring up. Regardless if that's they didn't really put a whole lot of hours into it or anything else. So I feel like what this segment's going to do is I'm going to make this segment dedicated to games, any game whatsoever, positive or negative reviews, that what I feel like personally as me that they could have done to make this franchise or make this game in particular better. So the first game's going to be of this segment is going to be Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves for the longest time has been getting a lot of mixed reviews in terms of the game itself, the content it provided, and overall the aspect of everything about the game. I've heard negative criticism from the world is empty. The atmosphere is very bad. There's not a whole lot of stuff to do. There's not a lot of missions, not a lot of progression. There's not a lot to do with the content that they did give you. And I do feel like I believe all this is fair criticism. I myself dropped this game because I just didn't have a whole lot to do in it. It's cool going out and selling. I do feel like that part is good atmosphere, the actual selling part. But the world itself, I don't believe is a good atmosphere. If you remember correctly, there's not a whole lot of factions in the game. There's not even the world itself. It had like one enemy. It was skeletons. So at the end of the day, that wasn't a lot to keep people coming back to this game. So I've divided a list of things that they can do to give you an overall perspective of this game. So let's get straight into this. Alright, so the first thing I have for you guys is I believe there needs to be a lot more when it comes to ship customizations. I don't mean cosmetics, I mean upgrades in general and how a ship functions. This is something that needs to happen sooner rather than later. Players need a reason to play the game. They got to see progression in what they're doing. They also need to show off the rewards that they're getting. You can't expect people to put in mad hours in your game and not have a whole lot to show to their friends that, I worked for this. This is my game. So what Rare needs to do is, I feel like these next two topics, they need to go towards that, Rainbow Six Siege light and make different types of ships that you can work towards. Obviously, I do think that you need to be able to buy both of these. These shouldn't be given to you. Maybe at the beginning, you get to pick one of the type of the ships, but anything after that, you do have to work for, you have to buy, and you have to upgrade those ships independently. Make different kinds of them. I do think that there needs to be ships, like maybe smaller ships that that are literally specialized just to ram ships. They're really fast. They're agile. You can get the anchor up quicker because you can do maneuvers with the anchor. Also, I think they maybe make a ship that does long range battles. Got more cannons on it, more long range cannons on it. Give that ship. The ship fights a little bit more of what's the word I'm looking for? A better experience for people who are playing this. Sooner or later, the way that the ship battles are now, they'll get old. But if you give people different tools, different things to fight with, different ways to fight, imagine if they had a ship that just it's a bigger ship like a tank. It's got a lot of armor on it. It's got good cannons on it, and its special ability is it can shoot harpoons out of the ship to slow down more aggressive ships that are a lot faster than it. So I do think that's something that they really could look forward to, and I think it would be good. And when you go into this cosmetic thing, you can customize and do better cosmetics depending on what kind of ship you have, and I think that's something they can really look at. So let's get on to the next one. So the next one is I feel like we need some kind of class customization. And so let's go into a little bit more what I said earlier about Rainbow Six Siege. One of the biggest reasons I think that game was successful was because of the operators that Ubisoft made for that game. Every operator has a drastic change in the gameplay mechanics. We need that in Sea of Thieves. We need a specific class that does, repairs the ship. A specific class that has better combat skills. A specific class maybe for sniper, maybe for navigation skills. And all these classes need specific equipment that is only used for their classes to make that class better, to make your experience better. People like feeling like they're important, and right now, to me, it feels like the only person that's really doing anything maybe is the pilot. The person who is the pilot. What do you call the person on the wheel, and maybe the navigation person who's navigating. And every now and then when you're in a ship battle, people with the the cannons and stuff, because that really does get through. But between that and ship upgrades, I feel like they need to do one or the other. Both of them would be amazing, because imagine doing a ship battle to where you're coming up on someone and they have like a bigger ship than you. You have a smaller ship, so you're more agile than them. You can get around them a lot quicker. You have the better team on board because you guys have chose the classes to represent that ship better than the other one. So you can go around them, run in circles with them. I want that feeling when I come across someone and see Thieves in a ship, that it's like, yo, he's got the big ship, so we got to do something. We got to do this battle differently than we just played the people that didn't have the big ship. Then they had an agile ship like you, or an average ship that's fast. I want that kind of experience, and I feel like if they had that, give that variety, give that different kind of gameplay every time, you would feel a lot better when you're playing this game. But that's just my personal opinion when it comes to that. So let's go ahead and get on to the next one. So the next one is factions. I feel like this game could really improve just by this one topic. I feel like factions is one of the key things that can make this game what it needs to be. We need different factions for different things. Besides what they have now, they have factions in the game, but they need to expand that, build more factions. We need factions to where it gives you exclusive gear depending on what faction it is. You get gear from different variety. When it comes to the classes I was speaking to, maybe put them in certain key roles when it comes to classes. Maybe ships upgrades, like I was referring to, have that from different factions. You have to be in a certain faction to get that, and I think that would really help. Imagine if when you join a faction, you have exclusive rights to like an exclusive place on the map that can only people in your faction can get to. And what they can do is they can make it to where if you have the sill, you can go there. If you don't, AI cannons just keep shooting in and in and in and just doing massive damage to any ship. I feel like that'd be cool, and they can make that into some kind of event to where if you can get to that faction where those where the players are, where the AI are, and there's good loot there, if you can make that siege and do good in that siege. I do feel like if you stick to a faction and you put a lot of time into them, a lot of loyal time into them, you get exclusive shit. Like I'm talking about upgrades that only that faction has. I do think that they need a special place that the highest royalty of that faction can go to. They need that as well. They need like 4 or 5 factions. They need to, when you go around, maybe you get different customizations or different options, or get bonuses if you see an enemy faction and you seek that bitch. I feel like that is stuff that this game would need, that would give people excuses to play it, and it just, at the moment, it doesn't have it. And I feel like that factions is the easiest thing they can do to bring a broader scale of people, or bring people back that was playing that left it. So let's get on to the next topic. My next one is enemies. That's kind of laughable. This is a no-brainer. These people got one enemy type, really. Skeletons. Who thought of that was a good idea? I understand that, when it comes to development, a lot of things have to be taken out of content because maybe they were rushed, or, I don't understand how that could be a gameplay mechanic that was voluntary. I don't see how that could be honest. Being honest with you guys, I don't see how you can come out on the other end of a development cycle and say we only need one enemy type, which is skeletons. I don't see that. They need so many more enemy types in this game. It's not even real. I mean, they do have sharks, but I don't even think that's really an enemy type. We expect that to be in the ocean. But I'm not going to even really go into this too much on this topic because people know we need more enemies in Sea of Thieves. There is no denying that shit. On to the next topic. This next one, I don't think they can do right now. But I did hear that they were talking about doing, a different map. And I feel like they can do it then. Explain to me how the entire map is an ocean. We do have a ship. It seems like there's no kind of element change at all in this game. Why isn't there like biomes, kind of like how Ark and Minecraft have? We need that. We need like an area in the map that's that's Arctic. Nothing but frozen lakes and shit. And you got to go through that frozen ocean. That would be cool. It would make you want to learn how to, sell in that kind of environment. Maybe a swampy area. I don't know what else maybe a cliff area to where, people can go above you and they can ambush you if they know you're going through there. Like, that would be cool, man. Like, I would like that. Maybe make an area that you can get to a certain area really fast, but it's really dangerous to go that way because most people don't sell in that area. You can get like the real pirates in there, like ambushing people, and I think that would really help this game out tremendously. Just as something as simple as having different biomes in the game. And I do think that is something that maybe they'll look at in the future. But let's go on to the next one. All right, so this is my last one. This is going to be activities and time events. I put them together for a reason. I feel like activities, they need stuff like, good story orientated things, a good story map. I feel like the Kraken shouldn't have been what it was. It should have been a story mission. Should have been a bunch of missions together that you do as a story event that maybe once you start the actual Kraken mission, they put you to a completely different server and you only see that Kraken. You don't see any kind of any enemy ships or anything like that. I think that would have been cool. They have this shark shit going on. Maybe they'll do something with that. I have no clue how that's going to work out. Timed events. I feel like, putting stuff like Davy Jones or Blackbeard. I apologize. So maybe like Davy Jones or Blackbeard. You're just cruising down and Sea of Thieves. You're doing some missions or, going on an adventure to kill people for your faction. You look around and be like, oh, Blackbeard just showed up in the server. And he shows up to everyone in the server. And I don't think they should make it to where whoever kills him gets the points and no one else does. Make it like the event in Destiny 2. If you participated in killing Blackbeard or Davy Jones, you got like a random drop from their specific gear that is for that event and that event only. And, keep bringing that event up after time over and over again. That way you get that. Now, I do think this game needs a PvP specific thing. I think there needs to be a part in the map where you go to, and it's only for PvP. So you go there, we'll call it like Pirate Wars or something like that, where it's like 3v3 teams, and the gear there is exclusive to that event, to that activity. And the only way you can get that stuff is going to a PvP, the PvP island or whatever they'll call it. And I think that would be cool too, especially if they did like the upgrades or the ship upgrades and the player upgrades, or one of them or both of them, and where you're sitting there and you're attacking these people, and it'll show up at the beginning what everyone has, what kind of ship they had, what kind of clan they have, what kind of class they have for their pirates, and then you just devise a way to fight that scenario depending on what you saw at the beginning of the match. So that's what I feel like Sea of Thieves can do to improve this game. I know this is a long video, and I appreciate anyone that has any kind of criticism for it. Tell me exactly what you feel like in the comment section. I always welcome criticism. I'm going to really work on this segment. I really enjoyed this, and I do feel like I would like you guys to help me name it. I still ain't named it. I got a couple ideas, but I'm gonna let you guys put in the comment section what you guys think I should name this segment going here on forward. This is Gaming Addict. If you ain't liked the video, I'd appreciate it. Share it to anyone else. Tell me what you guys think should be fixed in Sea of Thieves. How you would fix Sea of Thieves. This is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.